Lefiya, for better or for worse, was an exemplary student. She is very kind to everyone and many people love her very much. She doesn't look like an elf with cleanliness, but an elf who is loved by all. But that might have to add the ex Lefiya virides premise. Lefiya is working really hard right now, and I can't stop her, but I'm so scared. A murmur sounded. The girl's roommate, Alfie, said softly. It looks like Lefiya is going to change. No, it looks like she's going somewhere far away. She lowered her eyes and muttered to herself, but no one could answer. Tiona, Tioni and Raoul also remained silent. In this sense, Beth was more suitable than any other and worse than any other. Bet would affirm the instability that Alfie and the others felt from Lefiya. The combination of these two can go to the limit. These two have the ability to go. And that must be what Lefiya expected. Aze, who had recovered from a trance, could only look at Lefiya, who was exercising a lot at the moment, glaring at her. Lefiya Verides. LV 4. Strength, I0 to I97, Durability, I0 to G212, Dexterity, I0 to H187, Agility, I0 to G204, Magic, I0 to E401, Magic, H, Abnormal Resistance, I, Defense Magic, I. The main god taking the skill score, upgrade roll, Reveria, who was shaking her long emerald hair, had to endure a severe headache. When did you reach this value? The artificial maze battle was the last time, so it was a little over 2 weeks. It's ridiculous. After Loki answered slowly, Reveria blurted out. The proficiency of all skills, the total increase value exceeds 1100. Although there had been an unprecedented, great war, between battles in the man-made labyrinth, this was not a number that a level 4 mage could reach in just half a month. Even on expeditions to deep regions, there is no record of ascension of this magnitude. In the Guildhall office, Reveria subconsciously looked at the update paper. Most experience points must be obtained in the man-made labyrinth battle, but it should also reflect training results. Bet, he really won't hold back until he's on the brink. It feels like I'm talking to the profound level every day. Reveria frowned gracefully. Unlike her, Finn and Gareth calmly voiced their opinions. As mentioned above, the man-made dungeon battle can be considered an unprecedented deathmatch. The experience points gained by those who survived must be innumerable. But if it's Lefiya, you have to add first-level adventurer bet to make it work. After many days of intense practice that is no different from real combat, it is acceptable that your calculation value is much higher than anyone else's. I can accept. However, this is still too much. However, Reveria still frowned. Although it has just been updated now, and the rate of increase in skill value will significantly decrease after that, it's almost like looking at the fastest rabbit in the world somewhere. As expected of our family's Lefiya. That cocky little boy or something, quickly overtake him. Loki rolled in pain on the ground, but was completely ignored by her. The high elf, Lefiya's real teacher, sighed heavily. Enough to be called fierce growth power. The urge to climb steep peaks, even if your fingernails are cracked or even broken. Today's Lefiya is in a state of restriction lifted. It's very rewarding for the familia. In addition to Lefiya, many other members also grew up against the spirit clone, updated. As Finn and Gareth said, the results of this adventure made the entire Loki familia a huge step forward. Almost all members who were at level 2 before reached level 3, and more than half of the level 3 members were promoted to level 4. Among them, it is very important for Aki to reach level 5. The Loki familia finally has the long-awaited 8th first-tier adventurer. Just as there is a high wall between lower-level adventurers and higher-level adventurers, there is also an impassable wall between the second and first levels. In all of Oratoria, there are less than 40 first-tier adventurers, which goes to show how narrow the doorway is. One account that couldn't help but smile pointed out that usually Anakidi's awe-inspiring beauty looked like a girl, but this time she also clenched her fists tightly. Although her expression was calm, her tail continued to wagging. There was such a conversation a few days ago. Finn. Do you want to consider adding Aki to the board? No. For now. After the incident related to the heretics, I observed Aki's behavior and confirmed one thing: I am even more convinced that she is very balanced. Anakidi reached level 5, so Loki asked this question, and Finn answered like this. That's when I told the party members to cooperate with the heretics as they cleared the man-made dungeon. At that time, some people even expressed condemnation, and Aki asked Finn a question in a dignified manner. Judging by the results, it became an opportunity for the family to unite. Put her in the frame with the next group members, the two sides can be connected smoothly. Aki has the perspective of both the strong and the weak. If she has no objections, I want her to be the middle tier of the family, along with Raoul and the others. Needless to say, Aki possesses qualifications that even she doesn't have. Lady Cat's smart and smooth way of handling things was once again appreciated by the head of the group. After listening to him, nearly all of the faction's operations are entrusted to Finn and the others. Loki quickly said okay to show his understanding. On the contrary, the reserve team in the artificial dungeon strategy, second offensive, Raoul, Alicia, Cruz and Narvi, who served as the rescue team, Demeter Familia, and the other LV-4. The sublimation of the members of the Second Army is for a next opportunity. In particular, Raoul, who was in the same period as Aki, would have dropped his shoulders and felt very embarrassed, which made all the members laugh. Finn, your celebration is also the same, it must be super grand. Loki, who was rolling on the ground now, patted the dust and got up, displaying a deep meaningless smile. Finn and the others smirked back, and this time, let's talk business first, let's talk about Lefiya. Riveria didn't seem to like the argument between them, so she brought the subject back up. She mentioned her concerns again, looking into Finn's face. Lefiya today is not just exercising with Bet. Before sunrise, she will release the magic power, and even do meditation training at night. We've heard that Elfie and Alicia accompany them on the exploration side, but the queue is really full. But she's not the obvious adventuress, really difficult. She's always been calm both on the surface and in her heart, so it's hard to convince her. It's true that she will act after thinking about it. Riveria, Finn, Loki and Gareth said in turn. Raoul and the others had argued with her without a trace, but she told her specific plans and numbers, and even narrated the discussions from that point of view, but they were almost defeated. Raoul seemed to be teary-eyed. What the gods said, breaking device, break, is already broken. We came to Oratoria, and after accepting the baptism, we were not far behind. Even so, it's not good. It's too extreme. Riveria shook her head, denying Finn's words, so she lowered her eyes and said, "The bad thing is, the current Lefiya can go on like this." It was a voice full of conviction. She hid her pain with furrowed brows and continued. People who experience a setback and then pick themselves up accept the suffering and can keep going. Even if the body and mind are worn out, they can keep running. Because this type of person already knows that there are more painful and uncomfortable things than die in the face of unfulfilled ambitions. Yes. The current Lefiya has a sense of security that doesn't give up halfway. No, that should be called enlightenment. I regret that I became the driving force behind that guy. Gareth nodded, agreeing with Riveria's words. Both the elves and dwarves looked into the distance, comparing the current situation with the past situation. If it continues like this, I will repeat A's mistakes when I was a child. Riveria gradually merged Lefiya's side profile with the girl's very familiar face. Although the current A's still sometimes seizures, she is much better than before. Riveria didn't use the same as A's, but she did repeat the same mistakes to describe it, and you can get a glimpse of her slight sense of crisis. It also shows that she really cares about Lefiya. Riveria had conflicts with young A's several times, and almost made mistakes many times. In her opinion, Lefiya must be quite dangerous right now. Finn and the others expressed their opinions from other perspectives and points of view, intending to argue from various aspects, but they still agree with Riveria's opinions, who is also an elf like Lefiya. Well, it's true that the current Lefiya isn't good enough. Some things are even worse than the previous A's. Loki muttered, crossing his arms. The main god who usually threw everything at Finn and the others and did nothing, now wanted to do a little work, and started to think, then the corner of his mouth curled up. Fine. Leave Lefiya to us. We have an idea. Although we have to wait a while, we have a secret strategy. To be honest, we really don't want to let you go to the place where the scum is. But forget it, we'll make good use of it. Riveria and the others, the goddess uttered such bold words, as if she was issuing an oracle, and proudly said, the school district will arrive in a month, so I will appoint Lefiya as the family recruiter in the school district.